I am God. I understand you want to know the true story of the Garden of Eden, so I will tell you. I created 4 rivers, and between them I created a garden, which I called Eden, which means garden. It is a place of beauty and innocence and peace and happiness. And there I placed my man and woman, and I named them Adam and Eve. I found them pleasant to look upon for naked apes. I enjoyed watching them cavort through the garden, the sun glistening upon their black skin. And I loved them very much. I gave them fruit to eat and water to drink, and they ate the fruit and drank the water, and it was good. Indeed, it was paradise, vegan paradise. There was grass and fruit and vegetables enough for all. There was harmony and kindness amongst all my creatures. There was no strife, no anger, no violence, no killing, no death. I told Adam and Eve they could eat from any tree or vine in the garden. Except for one. To test their fidelity, loyalty, and virtue, I set a trap. I placed one tree in the garden that was forbidden, and I called this tree Knowledge. And I told them, more than once, this tree is not to be touched. You are not to have knowledge, for knowledge is dangerous. It leads to bad thoughts. It is not for any of my creatures, not even for you, my children, Adam and Eve. Remember, ignorance is bliss. Worship your God. Do as you are told. That is all you need to know. Do not touch the fruit of the tree of knowledge. If you do, you will die. And they agreed, Adam and Eve, and went about the garden communing with their fellow creatures, eating fruit and vegetables, and drinking pure, clean water. Their antics humored me, particularly when they tried to ride the dinosaurs. Such klutzes, all of them. Several times each day, Adam and Eve would prostrate themselves to worship me and offer me food, bananas and peaches and such. Very touching. And all was good, and it was thus for a while. But there was trouble brewing in the garden. There was one creature that was very crafty, very sneaky, very untrustworthy, very naughty. I had a bad feeling about this creature when I created it. The serpent. It slithered hither and yon throughout the garden. I had difficulty keeping track of it. Several times I spied it loitering around the tree of knowledge. I was somewhat alarmed when I saw that Eve had taken a liking to this fellow. She would wear the serpent wrapped in a spiral around her arm or coiled upon her head, and swim with it in the lake of dreams. Adam did not share this fondness for the serpent. Instead, he and a platypus spent much time imbibing purple berries that made them laugh. At what, I do not know. One day, while I was away, the serpent took Eve to the tree of knowledge, and he told her, "Eat this fruit, and you will know things. You will be like God." And Eve, being a stupid woman, thought that sounded like a good idea. To be like me. And she ate the fruit. And it was good, and she did not die. So now she had knowledge. So she called for Adam to come to the tree, and to also eat the forbidden fruit. And he did, without thinking. Thus woman corrupted man, and he gained knowledge. And they looked at each other, man and woman, and they saw they were naked, and they were ashamed. They knew this because of knowledge. I told them that knowledge was bad. After that, Adam and Eve hid from me, for because of knowledge, they knew they had greatly sinned. When I found them, I saw that they had fashioned rough clothing out of fig leaves, and I knew what they had done. And I yelled at Adam, "Why did you do this?" And he blamed Eve. And I yelled at Eve, and she blamed the serpent. And I yelled at the serpent, and he blamed me. Me? God? The serpent said that I was unfair, cruel, and evil to lay such a trap, setting Adam and Eve up to fail. He claimed to be a liberator, setting the humans free from ignorance. Why would a parent wish to keep their children in stupidity and not allow them to seek the truth? Would not a loving God have made all the fruit and every tree in the garden safe to enjoy? These were not questions I liked. At this, I exploded in anger. I cursed the serpent forever, and the woman forever, and man forever, and all living things that ever live from now forward forever. I put thorns and thistles and poisons on the plants, and I put teeth and fangs and claws and talons upon the animals, and caused them to want to eat each other. Everything must now suffer and die because of the foul deeds of these three disloyal creatures, and I cast them all out of the Garden of Eden. I placed a giant flaming sword and an army of vengeful cherubims to guard the entry, so that no creature would ever see or partake of the Garden of Eden or the Tree of Knowledge again. And I gave the humans some hair that they would forever be obsessed with, and I caused them to crave meat and to kill animals, so they would never find their way back to innocence and peace and paradise. It makes me mad to think about it, even now, 6,000 years later. But I knew now knowledge was loose upon the world, and I knew that knowledge begets knowledge. It is alive and multiplies. I could have stamped out knowledge and restored paradise then and there. But I wondered, what might happen over time with this knowledge? Might it bring me even greater glory? Might it bring me even more loving children that worship me? It was worth a shot, so I let it go and stood back to bide my time. Why did I betray my children, destroy paradise, and curse all life forms after the serpent, woman, and man were caught in a trap I laid? This is not a question I like. Do not anger your God.